Shazam Isis Hour. A full hour of exciting adventure with the world's most powerful mortals. Captain Marvel, champion of truth and justice. And Isis, dedicated foe of evil. Both together in the Shazam Isis Hour.
Collector's Corner, Shazam coming at you. I'm going to be doing this 2-minute video challenge. I got nominated by Augie Rocha. So, I believe this is where we got started, right? Well, for me, the beginning of comic books was 1989. I was 11 years old, and Batman just came out. I was full bore, man. Straight fucking 80s kid, man. It was like the last 89. It was coming out. I was just, I wasn't into comics at that time. This was my first, exposure to it. And I had a real good friend, Kevin Lopez. He was my best friend over in the 5th grade. He had these records. They were like, it wasn't like the book records. They were just these big ass records, but they were Batman stories. So we would listen to him, and he would tell me about Batman because he used to watch the Batman 66. So he would tell me what he knew about Batman, and then it kind of just spawned from there. After 89 Batman, we moved away from Orange County. We had to go sell a house over in East LA. And at that time, I was buying comics here and there, like Ninja Turtle Archies. I really liked those. I was buying Punisher War Journal when Jim Lee was doing his. Didn't even know who Jim Lee was. I just liked it, and I seen it, so I got it. Also, I used to like the McFarlane, the Marvel Tales runs that he did with the X-Men and Spider-Man. Did that. And then a little while longer, I actually got a job on the weekends at a comic book store. Moving stuff around, stocking the shelves, bagging, boarding, stuff like that. This is when Pogs first came out. I fucking hated Pogs, man. But they sold them, so I had to fucking deal with that shit. But that's when I got introduced to Lady Death. I remember the Bloodshot from Valiant had just came out, and it was the first Chromium, so I was all on board with that. And this was right around the same time when the big names like McFarlane and Liefeld and all them were going over to Image. So, in the beginning, I collected nothing but Marvel. And it was just, the X-Men and Spider-Man, those particular runs right there, because that's the only thing that I knew. So then when the Image came out, I was all on board with the early Image, Stormwatch and Cyberforce and all that good stuff. And then one day at the comic store, the Lady Death 1 came out. And it was a big buzz. Everybody was talking about it. And I had to make a deal because I got paid like $25 a day working for the comic book store. And the book was already up to like $20, which was a lot of money for a kid back then. So worked out a deal, got that first one, fell in love with the Lady Death. Later on through the years, I fell out of comics until about maybe a little over 10 years ago with Mortal Kombat versus DC. Got into that, started playing it. Wasn't really a DC fan except for Batman. Hadn't collected comics in years. That spawned my interest. I fell in love with Captain Marvel on the game. But I remember the Green Lantern. I used to have a Green Lantern ring when I was younger, and I wanted to get a new one. So I went online to get another glow-in-the-dark Green Lantern ring, and there was a shitload of different color rings, and I was like, what are all these things? So it was right at the time that Blackest Night was coming out. So I went to an LCS, bought every tie-in and for the main story for Blackest Night, Brightest Day, and the rest is history. I've been hooked on DC ever since. I love it. That's not really going to change, even though my style of collecting has changed, but that's pretty much. And from there to here, that's what got me into comic books. So that's actually maybe about 4 or 5 minutes right there. But that's what got me started in comics. That's what brought me to where I am today. And that's pretty much it. So now for this next one, I nominate Josh Shelton and Justin Ingram for their 2-minute challenge. Talk to you guys later. Keep collecting. Support your local LCS. Support your local artists. I'll talk to you guys later. Shazam.
I'm twisted up inside, but nonetheless I feel the need to say I don't know the future.